This is how politics can happen to you.
Madison, my name is Reese. I'm 8 years old, and I'm 7.
Unlike these two second graders from Berger Elementary in West Fargo, North Dakota, who seem always poised to brawl, politics in North Dakota can take on many more intentions depending upon who you ask. Although we wish these girls were the only things you need to know, let's see what a few others have to say about the divisiveness of politics in good old North Dakota.
My name is Marvin Nelson. I'm a state representative in the North Dakota House of Representatives from District 9, which is Rolette County, the only district that is also a county, and also the only district that has a majority of minorities. We say there's two political parties in Rolette County. There's the Democrats and the Nonpartisan League. And we really don't have a viable Republican Party. I tend to be perceived as a very liberal, but actually that doesn't work.
Tristan Dunau is a freshman at NDSU who also works part-time at Jimmy John's. How would you describe your political views?
So I would describe myself as more Democratic than Republican, but not diehard on either side, obviously.
Preeti Chamidi is a junior at Cheyenne High School who is involved in speech, debate, HOSA, student council, and many other
What
activities.
do you guys want to be when you guys grow up?
Artist. I don't know yet. So many jobs to choose from.
You're
I'm a
right.
hairstylist, so. Well, I don't.
Political activity is also significantly different between different generations across our nation. For example, by 57% to 36%, more millennial voters identify as Democrats or lean Democratic than identify as Republican or lean Republican. And by 53% to 40%, more members of the silent generation identify as or lean Republican than Democratic.
I think that age plays a huge factor. As you get older, your beliefs change and all of that stuff, and we're having people live longer now than ever before, and we're having more people than ever before, so these different age groups are having a play on each other. But I also think that the younger generation has become much more opinionated in their beliefs and have become more sensitive to being offended by their beliefs being challenged. And this leads to more arguments and a bigger divide between people because they don't understand how to hold arguments.
I would bet that the average junior, senior in this high school knows more about what's going on in your school system than the average voter in Fargo, West Fargo, you know?
From my perspective, being a high school student and being somebody who's more interested in politics at a younger age, I think that knowing more about politics at a younger age is something that can kind of affect your personal relationships, because I find that even within the parameters of our own school building, a lot of students aren't politically active or aren't politically knowledgeable about certain events. So to that extent, if you disagree with somebody about a political thing that they might not know as much about or that you might not know as much about, that can affect your personal relationship.
Please.
Do either of you want to be president someday?
No. No.
No? Why not?
Because we pay too much work. And I won't get to spend time with my family. On Christmas. And any other holidays.
Do you believe that politics are very divided in West Dakota?
Oh, yeah. So much of it isn't any more complicated than when your high school plays Davies High School. Just we're good and you're bad. You have an idea, it's bad. And
politics, depending upon if you have similar views or differing views, can affect you in different ways. Obviously, if you have differing views, it can spark some heated arguments or maybe just makes a situation uncomfortable, but people with similar views tend to get along a little bit better or have something to talk about. So politics can, either give you something to talk about or something to argue about as far as I'm concerned. I think it started off pretty far apart in the founding days of the country, and it grew closer together and slowly has drifted farther apart again. Especially in recent years with all of the developments with, gay marriage and just LGBTQ rights in general, all of these things. And now all these gun rights arguments, it's just, people are becoming fiercely divided between.
That if you're going to talk about division, you can point to political climate as being one of the factors about that. Because, like I've said, a lot of North Dakotans are Republican, and a lot of them do have very conservative beliefs. But even in recent things, like if you point to Tom Campbell running for the House of Representatives against Senator Heidi Heitkamp, who's currently a Democrat, is even when he was talking about his bid for running for election, he specifically in his speech talked about how he was going to go against what Heidi Heitkamp was talking about and advocating for as a Democrat. And it becomes this problem that can be simplified to Democrat versus Republican in our state, which is something that's divisive in itself.
What kind of relationship do you believe there should be between your party and opposing parties, such as the Democratic Party and the Republican Party?
I think that they just need to learn how to communicate better with each other and argue better, because even the senators and stuff that you watch arguing don't seem to have the greatest ability to hold sensible debates. I think it's just become detrimental to America in so many different ways. To close this divide between parties such as Republicans and Democrats, people just need to learn how to hold effective arguments better and learn how to listen to somebody else's argument without criticizing them.
Do you know who the president is right now?
Donald Trump.
Do you like him?
No.
Oh, why not?
He sucks. Yeah.
Why does he suck? You know why?
Political activity between women and men is significantly different. For example, women's odds of participation in political parties are 32.8% less than men's. And in the 2016 election, the difference in Hillary Clinton support between men and women was 16%.
Funny, I play the role of standing up and saying we have to not just be a room full of gray-haired old men making decisions for gray-haired old men. I feel kind of strange making that thing. It's, you just hear the stereotypically gray-haired old men.
Women are more impacted and affected and concerned about how certain federal policies might affect their well-being.
I've served in 8 years now in the North Dakota House of Representatives in the Democrat caucus, and incidentally, we were the House caucus this last time. We're getting more diverse. This was the first caucus in history that had a majority of women. Out of 13, we had 7 women and 6 men.
Concern in America, because if you look at the scope of politicians that we have in our country, you're going to see that statistically speaking, there are more males than females. And you have leaders that are the voices of our country. They're determining the future of America, essentially. You want to make sure that there is going to be an equal balance in terms of genders between male and females, but that's something that's not currently in the political scope of America right now. And when it comes down to that, you can see how it impacts our policies and our lives as citizens.
How do you see the divide in politics between like different genders or different races or different ages or social status as well?
Yeah, well, all those things are kind of there, but you don't really have to belong to a group to do a decent job of representing them.
You'll get free donuts. Yeah. And pizza. Yeah.
All good things.
I love
Yeah. That was very interesting, honestly. That was very informational.
Okay, adios.
Bye, Amine.
It's over. It's over. Hey!
What do you say? She said thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for you've given us a ton of information to work with. So.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
A lot.
Oh, this is like why I live, you know.